Hey, what's up, guys? It is the Slifer Slacker. We are back at it again. We are getting on a better schedule, and we are going to start releasing content either daily or every other day. So, as promised, something I've been trying to make for the longest time is an armed Neos focus deck. So, I'm going to do the card by card, and then I'm going to do some quick combos. But first, we've got 2 vanilla Neos. We've got 1 copy of Avion, 1 copy of Persinatrix, because I'm trying to keep this as Jaden as possible. But what you can do is, if you are trying to be more competitive, you can tag these 2 out for Neospace and favorite hero, or any form of favorite hero and a field spell. 2 copies of Spirit of Neos, 1 copy of Stratos, 1 copy of Blaze Man. We are back on our Liquid Soldier grind because it's a go second deck. We do not want to play Pot of Prosperity. 1 Shadow Mist, 1 Armed Dragon, 1 Aqua Dolphin, and 1 Cross Keeper. That's going to round it off for the monsters. It's a clean 13 monsters because you don't really want to see a lot of them. You'd rather see the spells that can make them. So 3 copies of A Hero Lives, triple copies of E-Call. Being that it's an ARM Neos build, we are playing triple copies of Neos Fusion, triple copies of EN Engage Neospace. We are actually on some board breakers. We've got 3 copies of Forbidden Droplet. It's going to allow us to actually play the game. 2 copies of EN Shuffle, 2 copies of Poly, and 2 copies of Dark Roller No More. Because again, we want to actually be able to play the game. This deck is a blind second deck. We want to be able to just nullify our opponent's board and go from there. These can actually be Lightning Storms too if you're worried about any back row decks at your locals. But I feel like having 5, I mean technically Neos Fusion can count as a board breaker. So technically we're on 8 board breakers. We've got the 1 Miracle Fusion, the 1 Rhoda, the 1 Instant Contact, the 1 Fake Hero, which if you prefer 2 Cross Keeper, you can do that. I prefer 1 Cross, 1 Fake. It just works out better. The 1 Favorite Contact, and the 1 Protection of the Elements. So this deck to me is this feels so Jaden. This feels like even more Jaden than my Cosmo Neos deck. I've really been loving this, and I really wish that I could replace these Forbidden Droplets with Effect Shut. If you don't know what Effect Shut does, it's basically infinite impermanence in a quick play spell form that was used in the anime by Jaden. Obviously, we got our J token. We got our boy Divine Neos because I am coping that one day we get a card that makes this good. So I'm going to start running it now in cope so that we get something good. Cosmo Neos, the Wake Up Your Elemental Hero, our boy Arm Neos. You don't need more than 1. 2 copies of Shining Neos Wingman, 1 copy of the Nebula Neos, our boy Infernal Rage, standard, Sunrise. For my Neos Fusion package, we've got the Aqua Neos, the Dark Neos, the Air Neos, the Grand Neos, and to finish it off, we've got the Flame Wingman OG Ulti-Rare, and we've got 1 Grand Merge. So we actually are playing all of the different hero fusions that special summon hero fusions. So we've got Armed, we've got Infernal Rage, and we've got Grand Merge. So we're kind of playing all different aspects in the deck. So I'm going to show you just a quick bread and butter, what this is going to look like. Let me go ahead and shuffle it out for you guys. So again, the deck can play going first. It's not that difficult to just go first. You don't have access to Cosmo Neos, so I would definitely suggest, if you do get stuck going first, to try to make Shining Neos Wingman and try to get to your counter trap. That's basically the best advice I can give. Realistically, though, I feel like your opponent's not going to force you to go first unless they see you're on a blind second build. And even so, I still feel like going first is probably the best thing. All right, so we're going to go ahead and kick this off with some test hands. we've got a doozy here. Okay, so this is actually pretty interesting. We could go Forbidden Droplet, send a Crosskeeper to negate one of my opponent's cards. We could go Fake Hero, get out the Spirit. Spirit's going to get us to a Neos Fusion. Wow, are they all clumped together? That's crazy. And I wouldn't even shuffle this that good, and I had a pretty decent opening hand. So what you could do as well, if you needed to negate more than one card, you could have activated the Fake Hero, and then in response to Fake Hero, you could have went Forbidden, sending Cross and Fake to the graveyard. I mean, just, you know, just extra shit you can do. But we're going to actually send the Spirit of Neos back to deck to get out into our OG Neos. Which I guess it really wouldn't matter since we're going to be using the Burst Inatrix to fuse. So we're going to go Poly. We're going to send these two to grave. We are going to make our boy Infernal Rage. Now, being that it's a blind goes second deck, you can, if you are playing the favorite hero, you can change it up here and search for favorite hero. I like to kind of insulate myself in case I don't OTK. So I'm going to send him, and he sacrifices himself to get to Sunrise. Sunrise is going to grab us a Miracle Fusion. The Miracle is going to now allow us to make a Shining Neos Wingman. We're going to activate it, send 1, 2. We're then going to go ahead and summon out our first copy of Shining Neos Wingman in hopes that we're at least going to get more than one pop. But it doesn't really matter. Say we don't get any pops, whatever. I mainly use him to pop back row because you don't want to walk into like something stupid and lose off of it. So we're going to send the Neos and the Armed Dragon. Okay, where are we at here? We're going to go into the Armed Neos. So we're actually protected. Two of our fusions utilize Neos. So if they're to be destroyed, which this has destruction protection, this does not, but we have Neos in grave. If either of these are about to get battled over, you can do that, whatever. But so this is basically bread and butter setup, because what's going to happen is we're going to attack. Actually, we're going to attack with the Armed Neos first. And I don't like to use his effect unless I have game. If I have game, I use his effect. If I don't, if you don't know his effect, is whenever he's summoned, you can target a dragon monster in your... Is it just dragon or is it Armed Dragon? Yeah, choose one dragon monster in your graveyard, and you can destroy opponent's monsters with a lower level. We're level 10, so it destroys 10 and lower. But then you still need his effect to activate by him destroying a monster by battle. So what I do is I summon him out, and then I go attack something, send it to grave, activate his effect, which next turn he'll be able to summon off. And then I attack with these two, attack with this one first, going to pop off a Sunrise. And then my opponent's going to take their turn. In their standby phase, if I think they have something face down that can destroy me, I'm going to proc that and go Shining Neos. If not, I wait till their main phase, and then I go Armed Neos, tribute him off, and he's going to get us into our Cosmo. My opponent will not be able to respond to this or activate card effects on the field for the rest of the turn. So what you could do is in the end phase, activate Cosmo Neos' effect. What you could do is this, activate Favorite Contact, send these two back to deck, make the other Shining Neos Wingman, and pop anything that's going to attack your guys. Because remember, it can't activate effects on field because of Cosmo Neos. So this is basically bread and butter, guys. I love this deck. This deck is becoming my favorite. If you haven't done so, consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see more like this. I am in the process of creating a max rarity YuGiOh Elemental Hero deck. It's coming soon. As soon as I get the max rarity YuGiOh Fusion. Guys, that's Slifer Slacker out. Remember, if you haven't done so, consider joining the channel. with the link below. Slifer Slacker out.